Hi, welcome to the small shed. This Saturday we're getting all the decorations off the tree and it's time to make those New Year resolutions. See you in a minute. Now there's a couple of things I need to catch up with and sort of explain perhaps. You may well have seen several of the YouTube makers, I've certainly seen several of late, who've cut back on their output because simply they can't keep up with getting the content out in a full-time job. I know to my cost that getting one a week, never mind two, is a pretty full-on thing to be doing, and if you've got a full-time job, which is something unfortunate I don't have, it must be almost impossible to get one video a week out. Now that leads up to the fact that I have been doing 2 videos a week for probably 18 months now, and I don't intend to stop that, but there is going to be a brief hiatus of a month or two, I think, when there might not be a video there one Friday or a Saturday, or even a Friday and a Saturday. A couple of things influencing that. Sadly over Christmas my brother passed away, and there's a lot of running around and stuff that I've got to deal with that, and to some extent also there's a lack of mojo as a result of that, I think. So that's going to be an influence for a week or two. And then secondly, we're off to New Zealand at the end of February for a month. Now I know from the Christmas 12-14 videos I put out then, putting out lots of videos when you're not there is a task in the sheer making of them. Effectively for 4 weeks I've got to be looking at probably 8 or 10 videos to make to go out over that period. And given the circumstances, I'm quite frankly I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. So apologies if there's a gap or a lack of video. It will be coming back, there will be more. It's not that I've given up or that I've, you know, not going to do any more or I'm going to do less. It's just that at the moment, A, I'm probably not in the right place, and B, there is an awful lot of work to get done between now and the end of February. So that's just an explanation, if you like. Quick look back at what I said last year. I always thought, oh, I've done quite well with my New Year resolutions, but I look back at the video I did last year and it's sadly lacking in any completions, I think. The first one was to tidy the shed, which I'd done, but it's one of those things that you can't just do and forget. And at the moment I'm back in a position where it's as bad as it's ever been, if not worse. So that's a bit of a fail. I said I was going to finish the dust extract system. Now in some ways that is an okay job. I've got that, it's all up and running. There are a few tweaks around the edges, as they always will be, but pretty much so. I'm now using the dust extractor. The thing I've got to concentrate on this year is actually getting all the nozzles and outlets to fit all the various machines. It's one of the sad lacking coordination things that you get with the manufacturers, that they can't seem to agree on standard sizing on anything. So I've got to match everything up to match the outlets, and that's the next stage effectively. I also wanted to get into tool sharpening and to use things like hand planes and that more last year, and that is another spectacular fail. I haven't even dug out the sharpening equipment. partly that's due to the fact I haven't been doing any projects that involve any hand tools, and although I wanted to do more of that, the fact that the bench is permanently full of rubbish is stopping that. So something which I've just got to defer and say, well, okay, let's try and get that right this year. So the main focus this year is going to be on getting storage for all the small tools and items. It's the drills, the bits and pieces of stuff for the router table that are lying around on top of everything, sandpapers, sanding blocks, there's polishes and cans, there's cameras and all sorts of things lying around that are just in the way, and of course the minute the work surface gets covered with stuff like that, it stops you doing anything else. So that's the first thing I've got to hit. Mending sheds, I want to finish the pallet wood car that's stalled a bit at the moment through lots of other things happening, so I've got to get that done. The garage at the back of the house is another nightmare. When I built the shed, I moved everything from the old shed into the garage with the intention of then moving it back into the new shed. That hasn't happened, so at the moment in there is a car underneath a heap of insulation board and all sorts of other stuff. Much of it is stuff that's going to be thrown away, and it won't take a huge amount of work, I don't think. I had to move the car the other day so they could get in to service the boiler, and it only took probably an hour or so to clear enough space to be able to roll the car out. So the access is there if I want it, but I haven't had that impetus. We've been tied up with doing this workroom for my wife. That's now pretty much finished, so hopefully the garage will take main centre stage, and that'll enable me to put some of the stuff in there in storage that is not, it's in here at the moment, things like SDS drills that I'm just not going to use in here, so they might as well go into a deep storage out there. That also brings up the subject of the car itself. That wants an engine rebuild and a few other things, so that will hopefully be something I can do. And I'm getting pretty much to the stage now where I'm ordering bits and starting to get drawings copied for the guitar I want to build. That's something I've been thinking about for a year or more now, and I've got the wood. I'm now getting all the pieces for it. It's a matter of getting the place clear and tidied up in here, and I can make a start on that. So there's plenty to come. Hopefully, as I say, in a week or two's time, when we're in a slightly better place, we can get all the bits and pieces tidied away, get the storage done in here, and we can get on with some real work. So that's it for this week. Hopefully next week we'll still be producing videos. I think there's a couple in the pipeline that will come out next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.